All right, so the first thing you need to know about Chris Colfer when he walks into the room, he's been working out. I had to.
Oh, no,
I
thanks.
had to. You look good.
Thank you. I actually have been working out.
And he's proud of it.
Well, I'm not proud of it because I always just try to slim down, and then every time I try to slim down, I just get bulkier.
You know, it's a tough life, Chris.
It's tough.
It's a tough life. Some of us are just trying to slim down and we just get fatter. You just become more buff.
I know. It's the sad thing is I actually am upset about that. But
are you? You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You're really good.
Thank you.
So Chris Colfer joining us here on Entertainment Weekly Radio. Bless his heart. But he's a friend, so he knows what he's walking into.
Bless his heart, how my family says F you, so I hope I didn't.
No, we're just like, spare a prayer for Chris Colfer. But then again, he's been in this room before. He knows what he's in for. He is here to talk about a bunch of things, including his new book called Stranger Than Fan Fiction. Okay. You have how many ideas percolating in your brain at once? You're always writing. You're always cultivating. It hasn't been that long since I've seen you to talk about, another book. Yeah. So come on now. I mean, do you hear voices?
Oh, constantly.
Do you?
Oh, absolutely. Constantly. I mean, I probably should be on medication for it, but no, I mean, thousands. And I get really, stressed when I think about it because I just hope I have enough time to tell them all.
And how do you find the time when you're running around as you do? How do you find the time to actually write? Because you do write.
I do. Yes, I write everything.
It's not like he's giving it to somebody and they're kind of writing for him. You're a writer.
No, I have no ghostwriters. I write every word myself. And honestly, I think it really is thanks to the incredible people that I have in my life that help me, so I am able to write full time. I have a wonderful family, I have a wonderful assistant, I have a wonderful team, and it's really a group effort.
So are you? I don't know if we've ever talked about this. Are you an isolating writer, or do you write well on a plane during 5-minute breaks? Like, which kind of writer are you?
Well, it's funny. I used to be able to write anywhere, anytime. And the first 4 Land of Stories books of my kids series were written in between scenes on the set of Glee or underneath the stage at big arena tours. But the older I get, the more like Emily Dickinson I become, where I just kind of sit by the window and watch the world go by and become a recluse.
That's so the romantic vision of a writer, though.
Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, except I'm in PJs, I haven't shaven, and I smell. So that's
for some people that's very romantic. Chris.
If you got a fetish, then that could be.
It could be. Hot time on a Saturday night. Chris Colfer's book, as we mentioned, his new book is called Stranger Than Fan Fiction, and although it is classified as young adult fiction. It's a fascinating read, even for an old geezer like me.
Hardly.
No, it is. It is because its framework is you're one of those guys who kind of deceives in a nice way your reader. You make them feel like they're eating a chocolate cream puff, but there are actual vitamins in the middle of it.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like to roofie my audience. Yeah.
Well, it's because you smell. So, no, and this is a story about.
Well, Stranger Than Fan Fiction is about 4 teenagers who are mega fans of this hit television show and are going on a road trip. So as a joke, they invite the lead actor of their favorite TV show to join them, and he actually shows up and goes on the trip with them.
So it's so hilarious.
Yeah, thank you. And the
premise is so perfect.
Thanks. And they think it's going to be this wonderful dream experience, and he actually turns out just to be the worst person in the whole world. And he kind of like the world's worst Mary Poppins flies in and teaches them a bunch of lessons, but in the worst ways possible.
And see, this is where the vitamins, because it's entertaining, but because you leave the book kind of really thinking about your relationship with celebrity, your relationship with fame, because we all have one now. And we probably always have, but we have a very close one now, just as civilians, because of the contact we get to have, or the contact we think we get to have. And so it leaves you thinking about it, and I think by gearing this toward a young adult audience as opposed to pegging it toward, a fully adult or older audience, is it gives them a chance to not be as disillusioned.
Right, right.
It pulls them away from the potholes if they're willing to pay attention.
Right.
So how much of this is triggered by your own experiences with other famous people? Because I know you're a nice guy, so you're not the guy, but
no. Well, thank
no,
you.
You're not.
Thanks for pointing that out.
You and I have had many encounters. You're an actually sweetheart of a fellow.
Oh, thank you.
But you and I have both. I mean, I don't even know. We're not going to name names, but listen, we've both met those tools.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so, how much of this is informed by your own experiences?
Oh, of course, so much of it is based on truth. It's not a tell-all by any means, but I think it has the honesty of a tell-all because they're all based on actual experiences that I went through or someone that I know went through. And every single character is based on a magnitude of people that I know. And it's funny because it is kind of centered around an actor, and it is kind of his story about his fall from grace. But I really based all the characters, all 5 main characters, on myself or a part of me. So there's a little bit of me in every single protagonist, and a little bit of me in all the villains as well.
Well, that's good. That means you're a fully rounded man.
Oh, thanks.
With lots of voices.
Yes, lots, too many.
But so. What does this experience teach you about your own dance with fame? Because being a writer, and again, having been fortunate enough to talk to you in the past, you're a deeply self-reflective young man. So I can't imagine you going through this process without thinking about what happens when you step into the world. Because I know from whenever you and I talk and it hits social media, your fans are very passionate. They love themselves a little Chris Colfer, baby.
Thank goodness, because it keeps my lights on.
I bet it does. And they're very, very nice. They're very, very respectful, but they're very intense. And so I wonder what that, because so you do carry a high degree of fame around you, whether you want to or not. So yeah, what have you learned about your own relationship with it?
Well, I always consider fame more of a side effect than, the reason I do what I do. I love to write and I love to act because I love the crafts themselves, and fame has always been something I've over the years had to learn to deal with. But one thing that I always try to do is I try to write about things that I am learning instead of things that I've learned, because it just sounds a little pretentious when someone in their 20s starts writing about things that they've learned. But so I think this book in particular is actually my journey with disapproval. And on the surface, it really does seem like it's a story about your heroes are just human and that. But I think really it's about 4 young people who couldn't be more different, have completely different issues, but are connected by their fear of disapproval, and how watching their hero fall from grace is what cures them of their fear of disapproval. And so I kind of got to heal myself in a way using those characters and using all the different points of view of someone's rise and someone's fall. Because
what have you learned about your own insecurities since you've become a famous guy?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know if I would say I've learned a lot about my own insecurities. I mean, those are just those are college courses that I should be studying on. But I have learned that there is such a difference between fame and respect, and I think respect is what we all crave, really. And I think a lot of kids don't understand, the kids like I was, in theater and whatnot, that fame actually is the exact opposite of respect. Fame in many, many ways is disrespect. And so I think I really wanted to kind of put that into perspective and use my experience with that.
So what part of fame is disrespectful from your point of view?
Oh, I mean, he puts it in the book. He puts it in the book better than I could now. But like being sitting in a bathroom stall and having someone ask you, advice in the next stall of how to get into the industry.
Right.
That that's a little disrespectful.
It's more than a little disrespectful. It's a good moment in the book, actually.
Thanks.
Does writing? I mean, I'm assuming that writing keeps you sane, but does writing keep your perspective about the part of your life that's an actor in check?
I think it allows me to use the same muscle, just kind of on my own terms. which is really, really nice.
It's the same muscle, yeah?
It's the same. Well, for me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it's the exact same muscle. It's, it all comes from
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Yeah, it all comes from the same place because when I first fell in love with it all started as just being a kid and wanting to play pretend.
Right.
And so it all kind of stems from that.
But sometimes I look at your writing and I think this is your equivalent to building a field of dreams, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're an actor, you can carve out your journey by what you say no to and what you say yes to, but you're still at the whim of the gods of acting in terms of what you get offered, right? But if you're writing, then
you're in complete control.
You are building. You're building the field, right?
Yeah.
So, as you progress and as you get older, do you find yourself thinking less about the fantasy aspect of your writing, which you're exceedingly good at and exceedingly successful at, and writing more possibilities for yourself as an actor?
Oh yes, I think so. I would hope so. When ideas hit me, they kind of come fully formed.
Yeah.
Luckily. So sometimes I don't really feel like I'm really in control of what they end up becoming. So lately I've been getting hit with ideas for books, and that's kind of been my passion lately. But I have a lot of stuff coming up. Hopefully we'll all get to act again.
So tell me about this, because I've been reading about this show that is in development. What can you tell us about that? It's called Indigo. It's
called Indigo. Yeah, it's a show that I've created and am developing with Sonar Entertainment.
Right. It's a sci-fi piece, right?
It's a sci-fi. Yes, it's a sci-fi thriller type show, and it's about the Indigo Children. And are you familiar with the Indigo Children?
A little bit, but why don't you tell me so that other people who don't know?
Well, it's a belief that a lot of kids in this world are capable of a lot more than we give them credit for, and a lot of people who get diagnosed with things like ADHD maybe actually just have a sixth sense that we don't know quite how to develop yet. And I had a sister of special needs. I have a sister of special needs, and grew up with listening to people call her disabled and handicapped when she couldn't be farther from that. I think she's an extraordinary person, capable of really extraordinary things that we just haven't really learned how to make use of yet. And so I really wanted to make a show about those people and make it a fun show for those types of kids to watch and be entertained and inspired by.
When will you explore the idea of teaching?
Teaching?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Do you think I would be a good teacher?
I think you'd be an extraordinary teacher.
Oh, thank you. Well,
I think you're somebody's favorite teacher waiting to be hired.
Oh, thank you.
Why are you so surprised?
I don't know. I think because I just think of a classroom when I think of teaching. But I mean, if someone would consider me a teacher, in the fields I'm in,
you're already a teacher by way of your work as a writer. But I would argue that you would be an exceedingly good teacher in high school.
Oh, thanks.
When kids really need it. When kids need
and and I could build a really good homecoming float too.
But no, seriously though, there's something in your. Are you aware that you've seemed to have developed a mission with your work?
I am aware that I get the most joy out of being a voice for the voiceless, and that's what I always hope I'm lucky enough to devote what I do to.
So do you fear getting older?
No, I actually love getting older. I honestly I mean I don't like getting more lines and stuff under my eyes, but
lines
I think
are good.
Lines are great.
They make you look hot,
right? Like Lauren McCall said, they're your wrinkles. You've earned them.
Yeah.
And also it is. I've looked like a 12-year-old milkmaid my whole life. So I mean, just any idea of aging is really exciting to me. But I know I really look forward to it because I think there's so much more respect comes with being older.
I agree with you. I was one of those weird kids who couldn't wait to be the age I am now. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you that I love being an old dude.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. Isn't it? When you turn 50, Chris, you give 0 Fs.
Yes, yeah.
And the world has no choice but to suck it.
Yeah.
Because you've been around long enough to say, I remember seeing this and this and this and this. And they have no choice but to go, oh, especially if they're younger.
Yeah.
But the reason why I asked you about age is because part of this mission that I feel you're in the midst of is sort of like just a little bit older than the people who are consuming everything that you're putting into the world. And they are in some ways relating to you because they met you when you were very young. And so that's when I asked, to me, they're all kind of interlocked. It's like right now, this is who you are because you're a performer and you love it and you're good at it, but your most powerful contributions have been through writing.
Thank you.
And been through like what's coming out of you as opposed to what someone's trying to feed
Put
you.
in,
And
right.
you're, and I just think, okay, when he gets to be older, he's going to need the next part of his mission.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Oh,
To me, it looks like a teacher because that's like a de facto, default place to be, but it may not be.
Well, I will tell you, after 2 cocktails, it's always my presidential campaign. But that's when I've had too much to drink, is if I start talking about my own my own political aspirations.
Do you have actual political aspirations?
I mean, I love House of Cards.
That's not what we're talking
I don't
about,
know.
Chris.
It depends. It depends on how mad I get one day. I think that's what it's gonna depend on.
I mean, there's something so big about what you're doing. I don't know if you realize it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope.
And it feels bigger every time. Like this might be like our 5th or 6th or 7th time we've talked, and it feels bigger every time you walk in the room. And not because the books are doing well, but because you.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm never fully in touch with that, because it's that would be way too much pressure for me to do what I do.
So what happens on the days when you have to look at it, when either someone like me pushes it in your face, or when you actually come into contact with people who benefit from what you put out into the world? How do you digest it? It
kind of just depends on what the situation is, but for the most part, it's really hard to digest, because I think I'm just so aware of myself, and I'm so aware of my flaws, more so than I am of my accomplishments. So it's difficult for me to process it.
So then, how do you find the solutions in your writing? Because if you're working your way through your flaws, and obviously you can inform your characters with variations of those flaws, right? I've read your books. I've read this book. They reach a conclusion. And the conclusion is not always tidy, but there is certainly a higher understanding. So how do you do that?
Oh, gosh, I think just deep thinking is one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm the grandson of reverends. So I think
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think maybe I got a lot of my writing methods from them, and I always like to leave an audience with like I said, a message that I'm currently learning rather than something that I've learned.
You're a very powerful young man, Chris Colfer.
Oh, thank you.
You really are, and you're wildly inspiring, even to an old geezer like me.
Oh, thank you. Well, likewise. Thank you.
I'm very glad that we're having this opportunity to talk over time, because it's fascinating to watch you evolve.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much.
It really, really is. You're such a talented dude. Look for Chris Colfer's new book. It's called Stranger Than Fan Fiction. I keep saying Stranger Than Fiction, so that's why I pulled up my notes so I don't get it wrong. Stranger Than Fan Fiction. It's a really good read. Now, if you are listening and you're in my age range, it's actually, there's something for you to learn there about the way you chase after people on social media. But I would also suggest getting it for your kids. It's a good read from, I would say, anywhere from like 12.
Oh yeah.
When kids are really starting to get a little too immersed.
Yes.
So it's a great read. It's going to be a good movie.
Oh, thanks.
We'll talk about that next time. Until next time, thank you, Chris Colfer.
Thank you.
This is Entertainment Weekly Radio.